Hey, here's the spotlight review on something that I'm surprisingly reviewing for you guys, even if you don't like it. I am a huge supporter of All Elite Wrestling. I love the show, I love the roster, I love these figures. They're hard to come by, but if you can get them, they're worth the pickup. Yeah, I've already spoiled the end of this review, but hey, I'm talking about the entire series, not just one figure here. So my question is this figure just as good as the rest of the series so far? Well, let's take a look. Before we take a look at PAC, we're going to take a look at his packaging to kick things off here. Here's a picture of PAC. Used to be known as Neville in WWE. Yeah, I know a little bit about WWE, even though I don't watch it. Unrivaled Collection, ages 8 and plus, Series 3, number 19 of this series. On this side of the packaging, we've got down here what looks to be the letter A, or it could be an R. No, it's A. So apparently, if you have the entire Series 3 lineup of figures, including the chases, you can form some kind of word when you put them side by side, their packages. So that's something I'm not going to be able to show off. Obviously, the chases are hard to come by. Packaging is very beautiful. I mean, it's all around very shimmery, very nice, very reflective. You can see my thumb right there. Looks good. It's very nice collectible packaging. Unfortunately, it suffers from the fact that it's not collector friendly. Once you open these up, you're going to have a hard time getting the bubble case back inside without extreme force, and you can go about ripping the package very easily. I took my time. I don't want you to have to go through that stress. Maybe eventually Jeremy, the representative for Jazwares, will probably get the idea that maybe they need to rework this packaging here to make it a lot easier to slide the figures out and then put them back in if you want and not mix up the package. Oh well, yeah, I know, it's a shameful thing. I know. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Anyway, on this back of the packaging, I don't know what I was about to say there, but we have the signature for PAC himself. And this figure is based off of his all-out appearance, which was back in August of 2019 in Chicago, Illinois. Yes, I'm reading that, obviously. Here's a look at the other figures available in the series. And we're going to take a good look at all of them in time. And I don't mean weeks down the road, I mean soon enough. It's a really cool looking figure. He's a pretty good scaled figure. And hopefully this is coming out good enough, because I know the lighting, I know, I'm still trying to work with it. I'm trying to figure something out, but I've got nothing at the moment. So just gonna have to put up with it for as long as I do. But believe me, guys, I really am upset about that as much as you are. Anyway, you know, there are some figures that are hit and miss in this line when it comes to their facial likeness. PAC was one of those characters, unfortunately, that was overseas due to the pandemic before his figure was really in the production line over at Jazwares. So, unfortunately, they had to hand sculpt him and a few other figures from this series, which we will look at soon enough. The good news is, you can do something about that. You can remedy this because he does come with alternate heads. Now, I have the alternate head. This isn't the one that he has straight out of the package. This is the one that is on the side of the packaging that you can pop on. And it does block most of his face. And for the most part, it does work. I mean, from far away, you're not going to notice that it doesn't really look like PAC unless you really flip his hair up. And you can, because it is a separate piece and you can see his face. And tell you guys the truth, this being hand sculpted, it's really not that bad. I'm sure they did look at some photo of the guy, so as it is, I know it's not 3D scanned like some of the other wrestlers, but it's really not that bad. Standard wrestling gear from All Out, you know, it's just got some white striping and some gray here and there on the sides, and then in the back there's white striping again. It's basically all done in black. He does have knee pads, which surprisingly do not get in the way of the articulation, and they do have a little bit of some panel work here. Looks pretty good. It's very clean paint application. There doesn't seem to be any sloppiness from what I can see, especially with his eyes here. And the articulation on the figure, just like all the other Unrivals, is pretty much unrivaled in my opinion with their competition, which you probably know who that is. But anyway, we do have a ball joint at the head, which does get a little bit of some attitude movement. Got a hinge joint at the neck, which works pretty good. We've got universal shoulder joints, which are the pin disc, but they're pretty loose on my figure. Not really for his left arm, but his right arm, I mean, wow. Wow. I don't know what I can do to tighten that up. Anyway, that's my figure. Your results could be different. We do have a swivel also. It would have been nice if we had butterfly joints like their UFC figures, but hey, maybe that's something they could do with the Unmatched series that's been announced. Anyway, we've got bicep swivel cut. Double jointed elbows, which is always a plus in my opinion. We have wrist rotation, which is pretty loose. He does have a hinge joint for inward and outward movement as well at the hands. We've got an upper ball jointed torso, which is nice. We've got also a ball jointed waist section, which gets a lot of flex, as you can see. We have ball jointed legs. You get that much kicking forward, which is not really 90 degrees, but it's better than nothing, I guess. We get nothing going back because the sculpting of his butt. We do get somewhat of a full JCVD split to 90 degrees if you look at it. We do have also a thigh swivel cut, which is pretty tight on this figure as I'm just now, for the first time, moving them. We have double jointed knees, which again, you get a fair good range of articulation without the hindrance of the knee pads. Nothing at the boot section. There's no cut there. We got hinge joints for up and down movement at the feet, and we do have lovely ankle rocker pivot. And that's about it for PAC. There really isn't much else to really explain with this figure, so what do you say we go through his accessories now? He comes with a steel chair. Not really steel, it's more plastic, but it does have this like shimmery effect to it. It looks like they tried something here to make it look realistic, and for the most part, it does pull it off pretty good. I mean, you can see the reflection. That's really good. It has a hinge joint as well, or should I say double hinges, that allows it to fold up naturally. Unfortunately, this is probably just my figure, but he's got some loose hands here. He really can't hold this accessory too well. He can hold the accessory. He's got some real open grips here. I mean, beyond where they should be. They should be more enclosed, and they're just not sculpted that way. So in order to get him to hold the chair, you gotta use two hands and hope to God above that he actually can hold these things, because again, the hands are really loose to the point where they just rotate. It's pretty much supported by his leg here, but yeah, that hand is extremely loose, and there's really no way at this time that I can actually get the figure to hold his accessory. Now, like I said, this is actually his alternate head that he comes with. He does come with interchangeable heads, unlike Pentagon Junior and Ray Phoenix were supposed to when they were first announced and showed at Toy Fair last year. But this is the standard packaging release here. This is what you get straight out of the box. This is the actual head sculpt for this PAC figure, which, yeah, some people have said looks like Jesus Christ if he worked out a little bit. No, I can kind of see that. That's hilarious, guys. Very funny. To their credit, again, hand sculpted. It is what it is, but again, this isn't going to be our only PAC figure, I'm sure of it. So they'll get better over time once they finally get the guy into the room and do the 3D scanning as they planned to do originally. Good news is he does have some very flexible hair here. It's made out of a very soft material, so it doesn't hinder the articulation. But anyway, I'm going to show this off now. Take the head off the ball joint and then pop this one on. There we go. And I mean, yeah, not bad for what it is. I can live with it. And once again, the articulation is pretty much the same as the alternate head, and you do get quite the range because the hair is pretty forgiving and not resistant. So I'm really happy about that. They did not come in Series 3. This is Series 2 here with Pentagon Junior, now known as Penta L0 Miro. That's hard to say, so let's just say Penta. And here's the other brother, which is Ray Phoenix. But for a quick comparisons to add into this, and possibly our next Spotlight review, we're going to take a look at Rio here. And you can get a size comparisons between these characters here. These look pretty good. you know, PAC's supposed to be a small guy compared to Pentagon Junior and Ray Phoenix, and it really works. And of course, since Rio is a pretty small wrestler on TV, this really works. I mean, this is good. Some figures are a missing scale, but other than that, I think they nailed PAC in comparisons to these wrestlers also, here. This is not going to be our only PAC figure, as much as this ain't going to be our only Rio figure, which is getting a little bit of a backlash too. And, you know, for the most part, this is where they really did improve on the skin tones compared to the Series 1 figures. I mean, these look like their natural skin colors that they have. I mean, the line is improving. It's just taking some time. Hopefully they'll work on some QC issues that I do have on my figure. Again, your results are going to be different, but if you have a better PAC figure with tighter wrist joints, you know, more power to you. Maybe I can fix this up with a little bit of some dab on super glue here and just thicken the pegs a little bit, and then he'll probably be able to hold his steel chair. That's going to do it. This has been a long one, and it shouldn't have been, but, you know, for my introduction here, let me correct myself. I have reviewed one of the AEW wrestling figures in the past. That's that bubbly exclusive Chris Jericho from Ringside Collectibles, which this is where I got my entire series as it is, except for one who's on his way and will be showing up sometime this week. Can't wait to review all of them as soon as possible. But to make it like it wasn't a waste of time to actually watch this, I'm going to leave you guys a little treat. Here is a little pamphlet that came with this figure, or should I say this series, from what I actually got, which showcases a lot of wrestling figures, not just WWE, but New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then, of course, there's a page that's dedicated to AEW itself, which you can see, it's got a variety of stuff. But what I really want to show you guys is a 10% off code here. All you gotta do is put CHAMP and WrestlingFigures.com in your purchase, and yeah, get 10% off. So I'm not wasting your time with this video. At least I give you something at the end, a nice treat. I've already done this with pre-ordering Series 4, so you know, it's done for me, but it could be put to use for something of your choosing if you're a wrestling collector like I am. So that's it, guys. Questions, comments, you know what to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like this spotlight review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until next time, this is Reddest Pirate signing off saying, fare thee well, so long, goodbye, and get out. Thanks for watching.